In today's video, we are going to talk about tips and guides on how to prepare for your first Season of Conquest. Now, Season of Conquest comprises with many stories, with the Heroic Anthem, Strife of the Eight, March of the Ages, Desert Conquest, and also King of the Nile. Now, as you can see right now, for our team, we are now registered with the Heroic Anthem. We are not in the Strife of the Eight. The Strife of the Eight will be with 8 camps, and the Heroic Anthem will be with 4 camps. Personally, I do enjoy the Heroic Anthem more than the Strife of the Eight. Now, there's a difference also when you enter Heroic Anthem and Strife of the Eight. Now, why did I say I prefer Heroic Anthem? I prefer Heroic Anthem because it is a lesser camp. Although in the Heroic Anthem, when you get in there, there is a bastion that you have to complete this quest to get the skills, and then you can equip those commander skills into your commanders. So you'll see them once you get into the Season of Conquest, and we'll do a follow-up video as well on the guides here for the Season of Conquest. Now, the Strife of the Eight does not have any of that. It does not have any of these skills, but you still have to do Bastion Quest for you to earn crystals. Now, the crystal technology is going to be a different guide. The crystal technology allows you to improve further with your military tech, and as well as a little bit in development as well. Now, you can purchase crystal tech through the shop. You can do all that, or you can grind it with barbarians, barbarian forts, and other events within that Season of Conquest. So this is why this video that we're going to do here is a foundation that can help you when you get into the Season of Conquest. Now, this video is not only for those players who are going to experience the Season of Conquest for the first time. This also can help you if you are going into Season of Conquest the second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. Maybe there's some information here that we're going to talk about in this video that you might have probably missed and you didn't know that you should be doing. So this could be very helpful for you. My name is Shinji42. In today's video, we are going to talk about ways and tips on how to prepare to getting into Season of Conquest. Now, number one tip here is action points. Now, we know that we have to drain our action points every single day. This is some of the basic tips that we have provided in the very beginning of this game. But here's the thing. If you really want to be successful getting into the Season of Conquest, it's not just about draining your action point. Yes, you can go and kill barbs every single day, but I would really recommend that you do barb fort rallies. And there's a reason why we are going to recommend you to do barb fort rallies. So search for barb forts just like what I'm doing right now. And, you know, it can be tedious and it can be difficult sometimes to find a barb fort, especially if you are in an Imperium Kingdom. But right now, as you can see, we are in a non-Imperium Kingdom, and it's relatively easy to find a Barbarian fort. So launch your rally, just like this. Set it up. There's players who are going to join you, and you can see there is a lot of rallies that are ongoing here as well. So once you launch your rally, you will be able to defeat the Barbarian force. You're going to get some potential rewards. You get some speed ups as well, and you also get some action points with that as well. So let's take a look at that in here. As you can see, as I've defeated a Barbarian fort, I have also gained an action point recovery. And not just that, you will also be able to get some items in here and potentially some action point recovery as well. And also, with that being said, you can pop the treasure. So right now, we have our treasure here ready to be claimed, so we are going to claim that right now. There we go. So by claiming this, you can see that we've gained 3 hour speed ups and 6 of these. Peace shield as well, and a little bit of a resources. So the benefit is huge by doing Barbarian forts, and it's not just going to be you, it has to be the entire alliance doing this. So emptying your action point by rallying Barbarian fort gives you a lot of benefit getting into the Season of Conquest. So by rallying Barbarian forts, it gives you action points, speed ups, and also a few resources, right? It really helps you hugely in getting into Season of Conquest. Because if you want to perform well in the honor ranking in the Season of Conquest, you want to have a lot of action points. So as you can see, for me, I have accumulated roughly about 9,362.50 of these action points. So with that amount, there's roughly about 460k action point. So that's actually a lot. And if I really drain all my action point, I'll probably place in the top 10 of the honor rankings. So it really depends on how you're going to grind as well when you get into the Season of Conquest, because you still need to do ruins. Now, as well as speed ups, you know, I've shown you that you can get speed ups from defeating Barbarian force and also getting the treasure and also from the chest as well. And you get some resources. Now, as you can see, this is the amount of resources that you can get from rallying Barbarian force as well. That level pack C is huge. It's a lot. As you can see, I've accumulated a lot. And when you're rallying with your commander, I highly recommend that you make sure that you have your commander set onto the peacekeeping path. So when we take a look into Tao Tao in here, you can see that we have the Trophy Hunter that allows me to obtain a level 1 resource pack C. So that is very helpful, and it allows you to have some depth with your account, having that resources backup. Now, tip number 2 is constantly farming. As you can see, I am currently farming right now for gold. As a T5 player, this is very essential. And also activating your boost daily. You should have a lot of boost by this time. I have my gathering boost. I have my food production, wood production, stone production, gold production boost. These are all very, very helpful tips that it is going to set you up in a very good position once you get into Season of Conquest. Also, set up your farm account. So I would recommend, if you're getting into Season of Conquest, at least have 2 to 3 farm accounts. Now, the farm accounts will sustain you from all the battles that you're going to go through. Get gold in your farm accounts, or maybe you set up a certain farm that will farm food or wood or stone. But I would highly recommend to have at least 1 or 2 gold farm, and then the rest you can definitely just farm it on your main account, or you can get it from, like I said, from the level 1 resource pack C as well. So those are some of the basic tips that we have for the first 2 in here. Now, another tip that I can give you, the third tip here, is doing a build. So I haven't done my build yet, but I will in a little bit in here. But you can see here, 1 troop refresh at 20k credits. So you can definitely do this as well. Getting the credits. Build. I haven't built much yet. So once it's reached 20k, you can see there's a limit there. It's not gaining anymore. So build a fortress, have your alliance leader build it, or a flag. But fortress allows you to have it a little bit much of a longer period of time. So you can do the fortress, you can do the alliance flag as well. And basically, this is the whole point of accumulating individual credits. And another thing that you can do to accumulate individual credit is always collect your expedition, finish your expedition if you have not done so, because within the expedition, you're going to get some Aether-fledged sculptures. And what you can do with those Aether-fledged sculptures is you can actually sell them. So you go into the alliance shop, you go here, and you can sell the Aether-fledged sculptures. I've sold mine to buy passport pages, so see how helpful it is. And you can also, do a reclaim of, the Arrows of Resistance, Books of Covenant. If you're already T5, you don't really need it anymore eventually. I haven't sold mine yet because I don't really need to, but there's also a lot of stuff here that you can sell whenever you want and convert them into individual credits. Now, how is individual credits going to help you out? Now, you have to speak to your alliance and say, hey, I need some speed ups. It's power up time. Can you drop some speed ups for me? And then once they drop the speed ups, you can make a purchase using your individual credit. Let's say you need some peace shield. You're running out. You don't have the gems if you're free to play, right? You need a talent reset. You need VIP. You need teleports, everything. You need passport. These are some of the benefits that you can get from the Alliance shop. As you can see in here, what people buying, you can actually see the history of it. So, people buying teleport, people buying name change. So a lot of things. There's a lot of things that can help you within the individual credit aspect of things in here in Rise of Kingdoms. Accumulate the golden heads. So accumulating the legendary commander sculpture is quite important in Rise of Kingdoms. Now, if you're getting into Season of Conquest, you're going to have to expect that there is going to be a lot more commanders now. So take a look in what commanders are available to you right now in comparison to what I have right now. So I have a lot of new commanders, and hopefully you can see all of them right now because I'm probably blocking them. But I have a lot of legendary commanders, and of course I still have a lot of commanders that I have not obtained. But by having the legendary commander sculptures is going to help you out in a significant way so that you can put yourself in a very good position once you get into battle. So what are some of the ways, right, to get the gold heads and into preparing to Season of Conquest? Really, do your Ark of Osiris. That's the biggest tip that I can give you. Of course, there's going to be events that are going to give you some gold heads, like KvK event. But Ark of Osiris is literally like a constant thing that every 2 weeks there is a Ark of Osiris. And within the Ark of Osiris, regardless that you win or lose, you are going to be able to get legendary commander sculpture, as you can see here. Just try to get 10,000 points, and you'll be able to get 10 legendary commander sculpture if you win. And if you lose, you get 5. It's a win-win scenario, in my opinion. It's just a little bit of time, but you get legendary commander heads. Work on your VIP as well. Try to get into VIP 12 right away. So in VIP 12, you get 2. Of course, you want to get into VIP 10 to get 1, but try to get to VIP 12 as soon as you can. Gem it a little bit so you get 2 per day. Helps you out greatly. If you are a whale, of course, you can just go to VIP 18. I don't necessarily do this, but I think many people, many free-to-play actually do it. So I recommend that if you have the time for it, do it. Grind this. So as you can see, it's gone. Grind the keeps and camps. As you can see, you can get some materials choice chests in here. You can get the blueprints. But the main thing that people do this for is the materials. So materials is a huge thing. And you can see, you can also get some gems, some speed ups as well for completing this. So materials is very helpful because gears plays a big role when it comes to Season of Conquest. And not just the crystal tech, but also the gear. If you have a bad gear, you are going to get swallowed alive in KvK. Researching what is the best talent tree for each of your commander. Now, many of you guys will probably have done testings like in the field and actual battle. It's kind of hard sometimes. I would recommend that you do a little bit of battle testing with other players and kind of see how whether or not you succeed. So for me, for example, for Ramses, I'll just give you an example here. This is the best talent tree for Ramses actually, because I've done a bunch of talent testing with puddle cakes previously, and we've tried this out. We've tested this out. We found that this was actually the best result for having Ramses. So my biggest recommendation is take the time, play with other players within your kingdom and say, hey, I want to, duel maybe during MGE. Say, I want to duel. I want to test out and see how my talent tree is going to work. Or maybe during the Arc of Osiris. Test things out, play with the setups, change your equipment, play with it, and just, kind of hone in into what is the best setup for you, right? There's always differences within each player, differences in each other in here. So set it up to where it's good for you. Start working on your gears as well. We're also going to talk about that. Do all of the non-KvK events. Accumulate some of the speed ups. Accumulate the materials if you can. So, for example, here in the league bets, accumulate, right? Accumulate. Like for here, I've already accumulated some of the legendary commander sculpture. You can accumulate more, but I can't buy it. But if you can buy this, get the materials. I would say prioritize the materials, in my opinion. But for this case, I don't have anything to make a purchase with. I'm out of coins and stuff in here. I do have some season coins in here. I would probably, I don't know, I'll decide what I want to get. Probably some starlights, dazzling starlights there. Do some of the events, non-KvK events, just like this. We are trying to get this gear. And I've already have my Dragon's Breath bow anyway. So get this. Get the events in here. Accumulate gems, and then do the events in here. You can see in this event, if I consume action points, I'll get some resources. I'll get more action points when I buy more in the courier station. If I gather food, wood, you'll get some speed ups in there. I've already claimed 3-hour speed ups, which is really good. And then you can also, work on your exhibit coins, all these stuff in here, all the non-KvK events. Now, these are for the museum, and I'll show that to you right now as well. Try to finish up your Lord of War at least. I'm going to do this as well. Increase at 420. You get 10 of the 3-hour speed ups. Maybe you get a little bit of a placement in here, depending on how you're going to perform. So let's talk about the museum. So this is the museum. As you can see, now I'm not sure when the museum is actually released, or is it released right away. But once you have the museum, you will then have access to all the extra buff for all the Gen 1 commanders in here. So you can see that, these are some of the Gen 1 commanders, and you can get some buff from them. And it's pretty nice, and it's not really that hard to get. You have to just participate with the events. So get the museum buff. Those are going to help you in KvK as well. Reassess your gear. Look into the gears that you have within your account and kind of assess them like, okay, is my gear on par to other players? So ask some of the top guys in there, hey, can I see your gear? Where am I at? Get some advice. Go to our Discord. get some advice there. And if you want to see more Rise of Kingdoms content, consider subscribing as well. Turn your notification on and press like onto this video if you find this very helpful. So reassess your gear. So for like me, I've reassessed my gear, change it up with other commanders, check, test pairings as well. But as you can see, my current gear is like this. So I've got my Dragon's Breath bow, and we got our legendary sets as well. So assessing your gear is very important. Focusing on where you really need, on allocating the materials, getting the specific blueprints on all that non-KvK events. These are going to get you a good position in the Season of Conquest when you do all these things that we've suggested. Now, guaranteed there's more stuff in here that I haven't talked about for the personal approach. So if there is some advice and tips that players have, please leave it down in the comment section below. Now for the second part of this is more of an alliance guide for getting into, or how to prepare into the Season of Conquest. So I've asked leadership here with Morningstar, and he've given me a little bit of advice in here for what they're doing in this seed. For what he have said is like, set up the time zone, maybe 1 or 2 max time zone for the activity. Maybe it's Asia, Europe, maybe it's Asia, United States. Those type of time zone that you can do. Garrison captain, set it up. Make sure you're recruiting for Garrison captain. Make sure you're recruiting for rally leader for each time zone is really important. And T4 players are very vital. More troops can fight longer. So have people create a lot of T4, and you can dump those T4s in the flag, in the structures, and all of that stuff, right? But of course, you still need T5 players to succeed within the game. The other thing that you can do, and what they have done in here, they've done a Google form or Google Sheets to where they ask for a survey on who's going to be maxing tech. So in the leadership perspective, you need to know who's going to do what and what are you capable of. So do the data and analytics for your kingdom, and that will also put you in a very good position when it comes to Season of Conquest. So basically, you'll know what's the reality and what's not. So when you get into the KvK, you'll know, like, okay, we know that we have the capability to make this push. Let's do it. And if you're losing, you understand, like, okay, it is time to retreat because this is the data that we have. We don't really have all the power that we can provide competing with other kingdoms that are more powerful than us. So strategic retreat is not a bad thing. All right. Another thing that they have mentioned here is getting into Discord, voice, organization within the gameplay whenever you're in KvK. Picking targets is very important. Knowing who to target, knowing what to target, and knowing the movement as well. It helps greatly. And also, it's just fun getting into Discord. So I recommend that you guys download Discord. Like I said, we have a Discord channel. Link is in the description. Try to get in there, get some insight as well. So try to get into Discord. When I first played this game, I didn't know what Discord is, and now I use it as a day-to-day life as well. As I love it. One solid fighting alliance. Now this is gonna be for seed, like lower seed, like where we're at right now. Seed D, seed C, maybe seed B. One solid fighting alliance. You don't need to disperse your fighters in many different alliances. Just one solid alliance for a lower seed. But if you're an Imperium Kingdom like when I was in 1412, then of course you want to have at least 4 to 5 strong alliance. There's benefits and disadvantages being an Imperium as well. But these are just some of the little overview that we can give you. Make a strong alliance within the kingdom. If you're Imperium, definitely more alliance. If you are a lower seed, of course, one strength, one solid alliance to where you don't move a lot of players. Less confusing in the non-Imperium kingdoms. So there's a lot of things that we can provide here. There's a lot of different strategies. Each person have different approaches within the game. So far, these are some of the things that I can recommend and I can suggest to you in how to prepare to get into Season of Conquest. So let me know in the comment section below if you guys have any more additional data to provide for players, because a lot of players read in the comment section below, so make sure to comment them so players can read them. With that being said, rockers, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again next time. Smash like as you head out if you find this video to be very helpful.